Viking football as we rejoin the action in the second quarter. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff.
Delay game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here. After first and second down went backwards, it's third and very long. A 10 carry in the game for Cook. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. In not great starting field position here for the offense. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. So they're going to go for 2. Now a toss going left. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line.
Well, partner, since this new 2-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. Fighting him off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A reminder coming up in the Sunday night game, matchup you don't see very often, a rematch of Super Bowl 18. The Raiders traveling to Washington. And then tomorrow on Monday night, we'll see the Cowboys heading to the desert to take on the Cardinals.
Former NFC East rivals.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. That kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Winston steps away to his left. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs. A first down throw for Winston. And this is incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
So much for halftime adjustments by the defense because they had to talk about it. The entire first half, they struggled to contain him. And here he is coming out in the second half and establishing the same tone. Still running the football with authority, still gaining big yardage. So I just figure in the offensive side, they said, well, there is no adjustment. Until they slow us down, keep going out, I'll keep handing him the football.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Second down, Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. On play action, Winston. He's got Evans. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. So they're operating in the red zone. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now a second down throw for Winston. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And they will line up now for the two-point try. They're going to run it with Sims. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us. And they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On second down, Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 14. They go play action. Cousins. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. On his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. With it is Jackson. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially given 15, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the third quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off. Let him chew up the yardage in big plays. And your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 41 yards. From the red zone now, Winston. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And this Buccaneer offense is running away with this one.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. They're going to run it with Sims. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They run it again with Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
The Vikings on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 11. Play fake. Cousins. And down he goes. A Buccaneer sack. Kendall Beckwith. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.